guys! So today I'm working on the boy version of these blocks for my Halloween quilt, and I'm using these beautiful prints. These are the coordinating fabrics I'll be using. I have a bunch of 10-inch squares, and I also have some charm squares in the same prints. Then I chose the colors that I wanted to use for the first block, and I started prepping the pieces. I'll have measurements in the description if you're interested. This is a 12 patch block and it comes together really easily. It's quite a fun block to make. So now I have all the pieces for my first row. I laid the pieces out just to make sure. Then I started on the second row. Because I'm using a directional print, I had to be mindful when I was cutting. I don't have much of this fabric and I didn't want to mess it up, so I checked everything twice and then cut. I got all the pieces cut for the second row, and then I laid them out to make sure that the orientation was good, and this shirt is so cute. And then I started cutting the pieces for the third row. This one comes together really easily as well. I laid the pieces out to make sure that the orientation was good and that I had all the pieces I needed. And then I went ahead and cut the pieces for the last row. Laid them out, made sure that they were good, and then I got to sewing. I'm starting with the head block. I'm not going to bother pinning these little squares because they're so small. I trimmed the excess off and then used the back of my rotary cutter to press the seam flat. And then I just sewed the background pieces to the head. And here is my first row. Working on the second row now. And once again, I laid the pieces out, making sure that the orientation was good for the printed fabric. And it looks pretty good. So I went ahead and got those pieces sewn together. And then I sewed the pieces to complete the rest of the shirt and the pant portion of this block. I pressed everything nice and flat, and then I went ahead and got my blocks cut down to 5 inches. And then I laid out pieces to make sure that everything looks good, and it does, so I got to sewing. Now I have all the rows sewn together, and I laid them out one more time to make sure everything looks good. And then I went ahead and pinned the rows together. I'm making sure to match up the seams as best as I can, and I sewed them all together. And here he is. This is what the block looks like all finished. It's so adorable. Matter of fact, I love this block so much, I made a couple more. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!